Hey, what's going on? My name is Brian Bauer. Today I am trying to do something a little bit different that I have not done before on this channel, and that's going to be trying to find somebody else's tone. I'm not very good at that. Anyway, today I'm going to be trying to get the Death Symbolic tone based on a video by a really cool YouTuber I just discovered named LambChopper. He used a Marshall DSL20, a little tube amp, and he mic'd all that up, and he got really close to the Death Symbolic tone. I figured, why not try to do it with the Kemper with whatever I've got here right now, and with varying results. So if you haven't checked out that video, the link is below. And before you do all that, you can click the subscribe button over here if you haven't already, and you can definitely click the like button because you probably haven't already done that, and that really helps out. So I am trying to replicate the Death Symbolic tone, like I said, based on LambChopper's video. Now, Death has been a band that I've really liked for a long time. I've learned to play quite a few of their songs, mostly off other records. I forgot some of them over time. I don't jam on them a whole lot. I have on a few Instagram live streams, particularly Spirit Crusher and The Philosopher, which are not on Symbolic, but they're really cool. So anyway, today we're going to try this. So what do I have here to start with? Well, we've got the Kemper, and we have some Marshall profiles. I got some by Guitarist here, but there's all kinds by Embrit stuff. Now, some of these are more aimed at the rock guys, so let's get right to it. I'm going to show you what's up. All right, to start off, I'm using the Guitarist Mars Brit 902. So this is more of a rock amp, but it sounds really good to me. Now, I start with this one, and right away, I try to dial it in, like LambChopper did. Now, so keep in mind that the DSL and the JCM 900 Mark III, which this profile is based on, is going to have a little bit of a different gain structure and stuff. It's still Marshall tone. However, it's going to be a little bit different. So first thing, I rolled the bass up a little bit, and I did that horrible thing called scooping mids. And I don't think that's necessarily always a bad thing. A lot of people scoop their mids all the time, like Metallica and lots of other bands too. So I scoop our mids a little bit, bump the treble up, and knock the presence back a little bit, just like LambChopper did. Okay, cool. So we're using the Kemper cabinet IR here. Okay, that sounds pretty awesome to me. I'm going to roll the volume back a little bit. All right, so now we've got that part of it dialed in. So what's the next thing we're going to do? We're going to put on a tube screamer, an overdrive, to tighten this amp up a little bit. So first up, the drive is going to be almost all the way down. The tone's going to be about halfway. Mix is at 100%. And the volume is, I think I bumped it up just a hair in here. So, okay, sounds cool. Let's play it now. Okay, that's sounding pretty awesome. Now, I think for the leads, what LambChopper did is he put on an MXR equalizer, which I do have one here. I don't have it plugged in. I'm trying to use mostly the Kemper, but I'll explain what's up later on. Now, I'm going to turn that on, and he uses that to scoop out just a little bit more of the mids. So we have this. So he scoops out a little bit around the 1K mark and such. So I'll show you here. Go over here. I just rolled them back just a bit, not all the way anyway. Okay, now that sounds a little bit better to me, at least closer. Sounds pretty metal. but there's something lacking here. I don't really like the cabinet sound for this tone. Now, what he's using is very similar to what I'm using, except he has an actual Mesa cab. I've got a Harley Benton cabinet with vintage 30s. So when I started messing with this, I was playing to the vintage 30s. Trust me, playing with actual speakers sounds super great compared to all the digital stuff all the time. However, in this case, I'm not micing the amp. We're going direct into the Focusrite 2i4. Now, this is where I change things up. I want a bit harsher speaker sound. I forget the speaker that is used for this profile, but it's not really the death tone we are looking for. So we're going to flick this off, but if I flick this off, well, we don't have an IR, so that means it's time to change the track up a little bit. Now we're going to be using a cabinet IR. It's a little more harsh. It's by Bogren Digital from the signature Rhythm IR pack, and it is called Call on Heaven. Okay, now that has a harsher sound, which I am looking for. I want something with a little more grit to it. However, we can swap out the IRs and do whatever. The IR is the big thing here that changes your tone if you're in the digital world. It's like the speaker cabinet. Change out the speakers, you get a different tone. You might get a better one, you might get a worse one. Some people complain about vintage 30s, like everybody's using that, the 5150. Well, I do like the vintage 30, but there are other awesome options out there. However, that does make a huge difference in this one. And a lot of times when I play the Kemper, I'm not playing with the IR in there. I'm playing with the cab. When I'm jamming, I'm playing with the cab. I turn the cabinet straight off. So right now, I've turned the cabinet off. I'm using reverb to put in the cabinet IRs. It's by Bogren Digital. So, how's it sound? All right, that one sounds pretty cool. Let's try another one. We're going to try the one called Inhaler. Here. I think that one's pretty cool. And we'll try the next one. It's called You're Nasty, and I Like It. Now, there's probably a way to put those cabinets into the Kemper, so like those cabinet IRs is what I mean. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing the cheap route and doing it here with Reaper. It's really not a difficult process to do this. If you're recording, it's totally viable to just run it through here. I think it uses a little bit more processing power if you put it into the Kemper. I don't really want to. I don't really feel the need to. Now, one thing we need to point out right now is that I am not Chuck, and I'm not LambChopper. I'm not miking a cab. I don't have the touch of either LambChopper or Chuck, and I haven't played death songs a whole lot in a long time. I'm just here having fun, okay? That's what I'm here to bring you along for the ride for, is just to enjoy it. Maybe you've learned something today. Anyway, one other thing I should tell you is that I am using the transpose. This guitar is in standard tuning, so I ran the transpose into the signal chain over there in the stomps, so kind of like a Digitech drop. I have some videos about that as well. Anyway, let's just jam for a second. Okay, I'm just gonna cheat now and just play something like, you know, Spirit Crusher. Alrighty, anyway, I don't know what you guys thought about that, but I thought it was kind of a fun experiment and just something to do. It was fun to play a little bit of tribute to a band that I like, expose a YouTuber that, well, he's a lot bigger than me, but I think he's an awesome dude. It seems fairly wholesome, and he's got a cool little green bird in his videos. And yeah, this is just for fun. Anyway, that's how I got to this tone. I think it's kind of cool. I would jam on it. I would record it. If you don't like it, oh well, I didn't say that was actually correct. You could just get a profile of the actual Marshall amp that Chuck used, and it would be way easier, but that wouldn't be very fun now, would it? Anyway, you guys, click the subscribe button, the like button, all that fun stuff. I'll see you guys all in a video here real soon. See yous.